Today, I will analyze a monumental showdown between two iconic figures, Homelander, the dominant villain from Amazon's series The Boys, and Captain America, the resilient hero of the MCU. Imagine the scene where Captain America, with his unwavering loyalty and indomitable will, faces off against Homelander, the most powerful being on Earth and the fearsome leader of the Seven. While Captain America has always confronted notorious enemies, none have been as malevolent and ruthless as Red Skull, born from the twisted ideology of Hitler. But on the other hand, Homelander has no qualms about crushing anything in his path, even when faced with an explosion capable of annihilating an entire planet. This battle would be a clash of opposing ideals, with one side fighting for freedom and justice, while the other knows only power and absolute domination. But before we dive deeper into this debate, hit that subscribe button, it helps us a lot. Thank you so much, and don't forget to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Homelander was born in the spring of 1981 as the result of a dark experiment conducted by Vought. Using the sperm of Soldier Boy, America's first and greatest superhero, and a homeless woman, Homelander was created in the cold sterility of a lab, where he was raised as a living weapon. From the time he was an embryo, he endured countless brutal experiments to stimulate and enhance his superhuman abilities. Raised not by love but by heartless scientists, Homelander quickly developed a destructive instinct. He not only survived an explosion at a chemical plant, but also unintentionally destroyed the entire facility in an uncontrollable rage. Homelander is hailed as the world's strongest superhero, with abilities like flight, super strength, and unmatched durability. However, his birth was a nightmare beyond imagination. He emitted laser beams from his eyes the moment he was born, ruthlessly killing his mother, and in the ensuing chaos, 3 doctors and a nurse also lost their lives. Barbara Findlay, the lead scientist on the project, witnessed the beginning of a living nightmare, a child who was no savior. Years later, John rose to lead the Seven, Vought's top superhero team. To the public, he was introduced by Stan Edgar and Madeline Stillwell as the Homelander. In his first mission, Homelander partnered with Noir to deal with a group of terrorists holding hostages at a chemical plant. However, patience was not his strong suit. Instead of waiting for Black Noir, Homelander charged in alone, coldly taking down 2 terrorists. This demonstrated his overwhelming power, similar to Queen Maeve, who also easily survived a devastating explosion despite being at its epicenter. While many argue about Homelander's invincibility, but Stillwell insists that no weapon on Earth can harm him, leading to comparisons with weapons of mass destruction like SAR nuclear bombs. Meanwhile, another figure from the World War II era, the disfigured geneticist Arnim Zola, created terrifying beings to carry out his schemes. Zola repeatedly clashed with Captain America, trying to prove his intellectual superiority. But in recent years, Zola has expanded his influence, becoming the lord of an entirely different dimension, where Cap must lead a desperate uprising to thwart the mad scientist's insane dream. The confrontation between these great minds and invincible superhumans is growing increasingly tense. Although Captain America has inflicted damage on many beings with his legendary shield, including foes even more terrifying than Homelander, just consider this: he once stood alone against Loki, a powerful entity from Asgard. While Homelander may be physically stronger, capable of surviving things Captain America cannot, this doesn't mean he would easily win. In fact, for Cap, Homelander would be a relatively easy opponent. Cap has fought and triumphed against beings far more powerful than himself and lived to tell the tale. If Homelander were truly faced with a nuclear attack, the compound V in his body would be completely destroyed. Although some argue that Homelander could withstand the power of a nuclear bomb, the reality is that he can only endure the equivalent of about 17 to 22 tons of TNT, as he has easily survived explosions with barely a scratch. In terms of strength, Homelander has repeatedly proven himself superior to Queen Maeve, who can lift enormous weights. Meanwhile, another wartime enemy has resurfaced to confront Cap in the modern world, Baron Strucker. This malevolent aristocrat founded Hydra, with a global scheme to dominate the world through terrorism and coups. Though others have since taken Strucker's place in leading Hydra, his dark and sinister legacy endures, creating an unending nightmare for Captain America and the world. Homeland isn't just a symbol of strength, it's the embodiment of absolute power. The Queen, in her maturity, has attained extraordinary strength, but even that pales in comparison to the ferocious storm named Homelander. In a breathtaking moment, Homelander casually touches the door of an airplane, a door designed to withstand unimaginable pressure at extreme altitudes. Yet with a mere flick of his hand, he effortlessly tears it apart as if it were fragile paper. Homelander doesn't hide his smugness when he suggests that if he were firmly on the ground, he could lift the entire Boeing 747, weighing nearly 190 tons, into the sky without any difficulty. According to Homelander himself, the only limitation he faces is the lack of a solid surface to push against, making it impossible to lift the plane mid-air. Meanwhile, Captain America, a living symbol of courage and integrity, has steadily led the Avengers through numerous modern challenges. When the founding members decided to step back to focus on their personal lives, Captain America reorganized the team on his own, turning outlaws like Hawkeye, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch into a formidable fighting force. The press quickly dubbed them Cap's kooky quartet, but despite the mockery, Cap proved that under his leadership, even a group of misfits could become a force to be reckoned with, ready to face any threat. Captain America tenaciously maintained the Avengers despite countless hardships until the founding members eventually returned to bolster the ranks. However, if there were a direct confrontation between Captain America and Homelander, the outcome seems preordained. While Captain America possesses extraordinary strength, speed, and agility, Homelander operates on an entirely different level. Homelander not only has the ability to fly, but also boasts laser vision, super strength, and an almost invulnerable body, all of which far exceed what Captain America can achieve. But what makes Homelander truly dangerous isn't just these abilities, but his absolute ruthlessness and indifference to the damage he causes. This cold-heartedness and lack of humanity could give Homelander a decisive advantage in the confrontation, as he wouldn't hesitate to use any means necessary to secure victory. Captain America, with his unwavering determination and exceptional tactical skills, might temporarily hold off Homelander, perhaps even gain the upper hand in certain moments. Please subscribe to our channel, it would help us immensely, and you'll get to watch amazing videos every day. You're the best. Thank you so much. Homelander, despite his incredible strength, is essentially a muted version of Superman. His laser eyes, though intimidating, wouldn't be powerful enough to harm Iron Man. Tony Stark's suit not only withstands the impact of the Infinity Stones, but also absorbs the explosion from the Power Stone without a scratch. Do you think Homelander's punch could even scratch Iron Man's metal suit? Even the force of a moon couldn't accomplish that. Homelander, while powerful, is really only on par with characters like Soldier Boy or other versions of himself. Homelander's most notable achievement is saving Billy Butcher from a C4 explosion, a feat requiring speeds of around Mach 10 to Mach 18, placing Homelander within the range of supersonic speed. However, his laser beams are not truly at the speed of light, they merely emit a large amount of light. But Homelander may be clever in assessing situations, but when it comes to combat, he's a fairly foolish opponent. Although considered the most resilient soup, he often relies on brute force, unlike Queen Maeve or Black Noir, who are true skilled warriors. On the other hand, Tony Stark, with his exceptional intelligence and limitless creativity, is one of the smartest characters in the Marvel Universe. As Iron Man, he's nearly unbeatable, not just because of his technological prowess, but also because of his sharp combat skills. In Civil War, he demonstrated this by analyzing and countering Captain America's moves, who is regarded as one of the most skilled and adaptable fighters in the MCU. Captain America's shield, though sturdy and a symbol of his strength, would only cause minor damage to Homelander. Homelander once survived being crushed by an enormous mass of concrete without a scratch. Thus, Cap's shield in Homelander's eyes is nothing more than a minor inconvenience. If Homelander were to disarm Cap, he could easily crush him or simply use his heat vision to incinerate him on the spot. Homelander doesn't just have the ability to fly, superhuman strength, and unmatched speed, he also possesses laser eyes that can quickly melt through and slice through anything. These laser eyes are often Homelander's opening move, a deadly tool he doesn't hesitate to use to eliminate enemies in the very first moment. Moreover, Homelander has extremely sharp senses. He can see through most materials except zinc at frequencies up to 200,000 Hz. He can even track and sniff out others like a bloodthirsty predator from just a tiny drop of sweat. While Cap has faced countless different threats, from clashing with Sharon Carter, also known as Agent 13, to confronting Red Skull, who returned with a cosmic cube in hand, a device granting nearly unlimited power to its wielder. Although Cap thwarted Red Skull's plans, when his true identity as Steve Rogers was exposed to the public, his fight became more difficult than ever, especially when facing a ruthless enemy like Homelander. Homelander is immune to many diseases, but that doesn't mean he's without weaknesses. Despite this, Homelander once faced off against Soldier Boy and still maintained his form, demonstrating his extraordinary resilience. Captain America, who easily deflected Quicksilver's punch of blow with the force equivalent to 900 kg of TNT, has proven himself to be a formidable opponent. Cap's strength isn't limited to tearing apart Ultron sentries, it extends to reaching the heights of other super soldier serum users like John Walker, who had the strength to rip Falcon's wings from his jetpack, an action requiring about 802 tons of force. If these two heroes were to enter a cage match, Homelander would likely win 10 out of 10 times. However, if the battle took place outdoors, Cap's tactical abilities might give him a slim chance. Suppose Cap could trick Homelander into injuring himself by using his shield to reflect Homelander's heat vision, he might turn the tide. But this possibility is incredibly slim, as Stormfront, another soup who fought Homelander, could see and feel the heat from his eyes in an instant, and Homelander is far more durable than she is. No matter how clever Cap is, the odds of him turning the tables in a direct confrontation with Homelander seem nearly impossible. Cap's strength and durability are often estimated at around 50 to 100 tons, but this is just a fraction of his actual capabilities. With his natural offensive strength, Cap can withstand powerful blows from figures like T'Challa and other super soldiers like Bucky Barnes, and he scales that strength in battles. His shield, while proven incredibly strong, was still shattered by Thanos. To accomplish this, Thanos had to deliver multiple punches with incredible force, equivalent to 6 tons of TNT, reaching multi-continental levels. This indicates that Thanos could, if he wished, destroy several continents with a single punch. In terms of speed, the MCU portrays Thanos as not just powerful but also terrifyingly agile. A stronger version of Superman, Thanos can easily crush a man's skull and send him flying hundreds of feet with a single punch. However, Cap's opponent is not Thanos but Homelander, who possesses the strength to level even the heaviest planes. While this may require significant effort from Homelander, he is still capable of such feats. Homelander's greatest feat to date is his enhancement of Butcher's explosives, showcasing his extraordinary endurance. With the ability to fly and shoot lasers from his eyes, Homelander becomes an extremely dangerous adversary, not just because of his brute strength, but also due to his supernatural abilities that make him nearly unstoppable. In a showdown with Captain America, the combination of Homelander's strength, speed, and lethal capabilities presents an unimaginable challenge. However, let's rewrite the scenario and add a dramatic twist. What if the battle wasn't just about raw power? Captain America, a seasoned warrior and natural leader, has a weakness in his iconic shield. If it's knocked from his hand, he loses a significant advantage. But even without his shield, Cap displays extraordinary agility, dodging attacks with incredible precision. While Homelander, with his destructive power, may act confidently as if no one can match him, the truth is that even at Mach 33, Homelander is nothing compared to Cap. For Cap, Homelander might as well be a statue against his superhuman speed. Homelander is more than just powerful, he's a symbol of relentless brutality. Despite rumors and gossip, it's undeniable that Homelander is the strongest and most durable soup in his universe. His power is unquestionable, but facing a cunning and experienced warrior like Captain America, the fight isn't just a display of strength. Captain America can withstand blows from stronger superhumans without getting hurt, and he can leap from heights of 500 feet or more without any damage. Cap's senses and reflexes are amplified to the point where he can sense and dodge bullets with absolute precision. Not only that, but Cap also possesses superior agility and speed, enough to outrun speeding cars and perform breathtaking acrobatics. However, Cap's greatest strength lies not only in his physical power but in his extraordinary strategic and tactical abilities. Homelander, while physically superior with a rating of 7.5/100, lacks the intellectual edge. He has decent situational awareness, but at heart he's still a child trapped in a man's body, easily manipulated by those smarter than him. Homelander might be the strongest in many battles, but his lack of intelligence and calculation becomes a fatal flaw. In this confrontation, Captain America might not win by brute strength, but by tactical brilliance and extensive knowledge. There's no chance Homelander could harm the Hulk. Hulk has been incinerated to 90% of his body mass, yet he regenerated almost instantly, surpassing all physiological limits of a super soldier, so Homelander's chances of defeating Hulk are virtually zero. If Homelander dared to attack Hulk, I'm sure Hulk would just laugh at him. Homelander has never faced an opponent as powerful as Wonder Woman, while Diana has battled superior beings like Superman. This gives her the insight into how to handle someone like Homelander. He would immediately underestimate Wonder Woman, believing that using his heat vision would be enough to overpower her. But Diana would move at a speed Homelander couldn't anticipate, rendering all his plans futile. In fairness, Captain America has excellent skills and strategy, but even that superior skill cannot compensate for the power gap between him and Homelander. Homelander can create an explosion with 4 times the force of any of Captain America's attacks, making all of Cap's efforts seem hopeless. In this battle, Homelander's victory seems almost inevitable unless Cap can find a way to overcome that overwhelming power with his intellect and tactics. But is that enough when Homelander only needs a momentary lapse to end the fight? If Captain America can't fully leverage his superior skills, it's hard to see how he could kill Homelander before Homelander crushes his skull or slices him in half with his cold, ruthless laser vision. I believe Homelander would win 8 out of 10 times in this showdown. Captain America has a chance if he can keep Homelander close, using his finesse and tactics to outmaneuver him, but against the overwhelming power Homelander wields, can strategy and experience be enough to keep him alive? Homelander isn't just powerful, he's a symbol of unyielding ruthlessness. The question is, can Captain America's skills be enough to defeat such an enemy, or will he be crushed under the sheer dominance of Homelander, a symbol of absolute power? I'm sure Homelander will dominate most of the time, but do you agree with me, or do you think the first Avenger is stronger than I imagine? What do you think? I know you have thoughts and feelings about this. Thank you for watching. That's today's video. We'd love to hear your opinions. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll stop here for now. Thank you.